Vanilla is everywhere in our ice cream, perfumes, and even candles. But where does it come from and why is it so special? From ancient Mexican rituals to modern kitchens, it has shaped cultures, economies, and even wars. The story of vanilla is anything but ordinary, and today we'll explore the surprising history of this extraordinary spice. Hello and welcome to season 2 of Roots Revealed. I'm Binish aka Beans, your guide to the fascinating history, culture, and science of plants. Together we'll uncover how plants have shaped civilizations, ecosystems, and our understanding of the natural world. Let's kick off with the next episode. Long before vanilla was used as flavorings for desserts, it was treasured by the indigenous Totonac people of Mexico. They believed vanilla wines grew from the blood of a princess and her mortal lover, a story of forbidden love. The Totonacs use vanilla in religious ceremonies, mixing it with cocoa and chilies for a drink called chocolatl, the ancestor of hot chocolate. When the Aztecs conquered the Totonacs, they demanded vanilla as tribute. The word vanilla comes from the Spanish vainilla, meaning little pod, but to the Aztecs it was tilisochitl, meaning the black flower. The ruler of the Aztec Empire, Emperor Montezuma II, drank chocolatl daily, believing it boosted energy and virility. Spanish conquistadors like Hernán Cortés were amazed by this exotic spice. They brought it to Europe in the 1520s, where it became a luxury for royalty. But here's the catch: vanilla orchids refused to fruit outside Mexico. Why? Because only a tiny Melipona bee could pollinate them, a secret nature kept for centuries. For nearly 300 years, this tiny bee held the key to vanilla's secret, making Mexico the sole supplier of one of the world's most prized and expensive spices. For 300 years, Mexico had a monopoly on vanilla. Then, in 1836, a Belgian botanist named Charles Morin figured out the pollination mystery. But it was Edmund Albius, an enslaved 12-year-old boy on Réunion Island, who perfected hand pollination in 1841. He used a bamboo splinter to transfer pollen, a method that is still being used today. Suddenly, vanilla could grow around the world. Madagascar, Indonesia, and Tahiti became major producers. Madagascar's vanilla, called the bourbon vanilla, is now considered the best. But growing it is tough work. Each flower blooms for just one day a year and must be pollinated by hand. After harvest, beans go through months of drying and curing, a process that turns them from green to dark brown and creates the signature smell. In Madagascar, farmers guard their fields with machetes as vanilla is so valuable that thieves risk their lives to steal it. In 2018, the prices of vanilla hit $600 per kilogram, making it more expensive than silver. Vanilla's story teaches us that globalization isn't new. It just took a brilliant child, patient farmers, and centuries of trial and error to bring the world's most expensive spice to every corner of the globe. By the 1800s, vanilla was everywhere. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, brought vanilla ice cream to America after tasting it in Paris. To this day, his handwritten recipe for vanilla ice cream is preserved in the Library of Congress. In the decades that followed, vanilla's popularity soared. In the 1920s, soda fountains and Coca Cola made the flavor even more mainstream, turning it into a staple of American taste. Meanwhile, French perfume houses like Guerlain began using vanilla in their fragrances, linking it with luxury, sensuality, and romance. It is ironic that vanilla, once so rare it was preserved for royalty, eventually became slang for boring. Type vanilla into Microsoft Word and its synonyms tell the story plain, bland, and ordinary. This exotic orchid that once fueled Aztec rituals and perfumed French elites somehow became the adjective for everything unremarkable. The shift began in the 1950s when synthetic vanilla flooded supermarkets, making the flavor omnipresent but generic. By the 1970s, the tech world adopted vanilla to describe unmodified software, while filmmaker George Romero's There's Always Vanilla used it as metaphor for safe and uninspired life choices. Music critics use the term vanilla pop as a dismissive label for ABBA and the Carpenters, comparing their music to vanilla ice cream, pleasant but plain or bland. The irony is that years later, American rapper Vanilla Ice embodied this exact concept, stripping away hip hop's edge, whitewashing it, and making it bland to appeal to mainstream audiences. Vanilla's story reveals how quickly the extraordinary becomes ordinary in our collective memory, leaving us surrounded by boring things whose epic histories we've simply forgotten. The Industrial Revolution changed a lot of things. In 1858, scientists isolated vanillin, vanilla's main flavor compound. In 1874, German chemists had created synthetic vanillin from pine bark. Suddenly, vanilla flavor became cheap and easy to produce, but many argued it couldn't match the complex taste of real vanilla beans. Today, vanilla faces serious challenges. Climate change is wreaking havoc in Madagascar, where storms regularly destroy crops. Farmers often live in poverty, earning just $1 to $2 per day. Meanwhile, 99% of vanilla products rely on synthetic vanillin made from wood pulp or petroleum based chemicals. But there's hope. Fair trade initiatives are helping ensure that farmers earn fair wages. Famous chefs like Dominique Ansel champion real vanilla, calling it the soul of pastry. Scientists are also developing disease resistant wines to help safeguard future crops. As bystanders, we too can help protect real vanilla and farmers who grow it. When shopping, Look for fair trade certified vanilla products to ensure fair compensation for producers. Avoid artificial vanilla flavoring that are often labeled as vanillin and opt for products made with real vanilla extract or beans instead. Every time you choose authentic, ethically sourced vanilla, you're supporting sustainable farming and helping preserve one of the world's most cherished spices for generations to come. Scientists are exploring vanilla's potential health benefits, though the research is still in its early stages. Small studies suggest that simply smelling vanilla may help calm distressed babies and could reduce sleep apnea in both infants and adults. Meanwhile, animal studies show promise for vanilla compounds like vanillin and vanillic acid in treating brain disorders, blood sugar problems, and heart conditions. However, these findings come with important limitations. The research is preliminary. Most studies have been conducted on animals rather than humans, and the tiny amounts of vanilla we consume in everyday foods are likely too small to provide meaningful health benefits. While vanilla may eventually prove to have therapeutic value, for now it remains what it has always been, a beloved flavor that delights our senses even if it can't yet claim to heal our bodies. The next time you taste real vanilla, remember the enslaved boy who revolutionized an industry, the farmers who risked their lives to protect precious pods, and the tiny bee that held nature's secret for centuries. In our rush for cheaper and faster options, we risk losing not only authentic flavor but also the stories and struggles of those who made it possible. Real vanilla isn't just a spice, it's a choice to honor the past and protect the future. Thank you for tuning in to Roots Revealed. Support the show by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and sharing episodes with friends and family. If you have any feedback or suggestions, reach out to me at hello@rootsrevealed.org. Remember to keep exploring your roots and celebrating the rich diversity of our shared history. See you next time. Bye.